All right, so today what we're going to be doing is lesson 1 assignment for Gravit Designer. So what we're going to do is make some circles. We're going to make a perfect circle, make a not perfect circle, align our circles, make them smaller to larger, and then make 5 circles and arrange them in a row horizontally, and then distribute the spaces between each circle. We're going to do the same thing with rectangles. We are going to save our files. So after you're all done making your rectangles and your circles and aligning them, then you're going to save them and export them. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Gravit and create a new infinitely large canvas. Go ahead and hit create. And I'm going to try something. I'm going to go to File before I do anything, and I'm going to go Save and see what happens. So I'm going to rename this Assignment 1, my name, first name with my last initial, and hit Save. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Okay, so it won't work that way. So let's try Save to Cloud as. Okay, so that's not working. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to follow the directions on lesson 1 assignment. So it says draw or make a circle that is perfect. So we're going to go ahead and go to our shape tool, go to the circle or the ellipse, and to draw a perfect circle, you're going to hold the shift key and drag out. Okay, go ahead and change the color. I'm going to go ahead and make it orange, and then if you want to, you can add a border or a stroke around the edge. So if you click on this plus, then you can add a border if you want to. And if I go to 4, let's see, oops. All right, so there is my circle. So now it says to make a circle that is not a perfect circle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my circle, my ellipse tool again, draw out a not perfect circle, and recolor that one. All right, perfect. So I have 2 circles, my perfect one and my not perfect one. My next, number 3, says make 5 copies of your perfect circle, or it just says circle. It doesn't say which one, so either one is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and to make a copy, I select it and do Control C and then Control V, and that will paste my new circle. Another option is holding the Alt key and dragging out from my circle, and that will create copies as well. So it says 5 circles. I'm going to mess them up a little bit. All right, so there are my 5 circles of my copy. And then it says the one towards the left should be the smallest and the one toward the right should be the largest. So let's go ahead and make this one smaller. I'm going to hold the shift key so it doesn't distort the size. And I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger than that one. And I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger than the last one and repeat that process until they're all done. I may need to make this one actually bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that one up. All right, so from smallest to largest, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the alignment tools to distribute my spaces and to align either the top or the bottom of my circles. So I'm going to select them all. I don't want this guy selected, so I'm going to go ahead and let's go this way. All right, so let's move this down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the spaces horizontally. Now they're all equally gapped, and I'm going to go ahead and align them by the bottom. So the bottom of my circles are all aligned and flat, and then they just go up. If you did the top, it would look like this. All right, so either one is fine. You can also do the center, but it's asking you to do the top or the bottom. So go ahead and do the top or bottom. Okay, so that is part one. And now you are going to do the same thing with rectangles. So the same exact thing. I'm going to go ahead and use the hand tool to pan down. And I'm going to make some rectangles. Does it say squares or rectangles? Let's see. Create a rectangle that is a perfect square. So I'm going to actually create a perfect square. So I'm going to hold the shift key and draw out my square. Change the color to blue. And then I'm going to make one that is not a perfect square. So I'm not going to hold the shift key, and it'll be a rectangle. So I'm going to make a copy of this one. So again, you can go Control C, or you can hold the Alt key and drag and make your copies. Okay, so I'm going to make 5 copies because that's what it asked me to do. And I'm going to resize them. Hold the Shift key, make this one smaller. So hold the Shift key so they don't, if you used your perfect square, then hold the Shift key because you don't want to make it not a perfect square anymore. And this last one, holding the Shift key, I'm going to make it a little bigger. All right, so now I'm going to align them. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute my spaces, and then I'm going to align the bottom or the top, whichever one you want. So let's go ahead and move this down a little bit. So that is part one. This is what my worksheet should look like. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy complicated. You can change these colors if you want. So you can learn how to manipulate the borders and the color of your fill. Change this to red, change this to 5. All right, so there are my shapes. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to go ahead and first export it as a PNG file. So if I click export, and we haven't renamed it yet, so go ahead and once you export the PNG, then you can go to your downloads folder or to your Google Drive, wherever it's saved. And I'm going to right click, or you can, let's see where the option is. Click on it. If you double click on the word, it should give you the option to rename it. Don't know if that'll work. Yeah, that won't work. So I have to right click and go rename. Or you can rename it once you upload it to Google Drive, but you need to give it a name because you're not going to know what it is called or which assignment this is. I'm going to go ahead and do first name. You can do last initial or last name. All right, so there's my assignment 1 and my name, and you're going to turn this in to Google Classroom. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay, nothing spectacular. That is assignment 1.